Wow, what a beautiful locomotive. What we have here is a brand new 3-rail O-scale SD70ACe from MTH. This one is in a Kansas City Southern Veterans paint scheme, and we're going to check it out today on Eric's Trains. Alright, so here I am reviewing yet another SD70. It seems like I've reviewed a lot of variants of the SD70 over the years, both from MTH and Lionel, and for good reason. The SD70 is a favorite. It's one of the most prevalent modern diesels out there, and it's also one of the most prevalent modeled diesels out there, and so it makes sense to take a look at one every now and then, especially when it's got a gorgeous paint job like this one has. So the EMD SD70ACe was the successor to the SD70MACe. Introduced in 2004, the SD70ACe was originally designed to comply with EPA Tier 2 locomotive emissions regulations. Beginning in 2012, newly built SD70ACEs were EPA Tier 3 compliant. SD70ACEs are equipped with EMD 710 series prime mover rated at 4,300 horsepower. Later Tier 3 models were rated at 4,500 horsepower. Over 2,000 SD70ACEs have been built to date, making it the most successful of the SD70 product line. Now, on January 1st, 2015, the EPA's Tier 4 locomotive emissions regulations went into effect, and unfortunately, EMD could not successfully modify the SD70ACE's two-stroke 710 series prime mover to be Tier 4 compliant. And so, in late 2015, the SD70ACe was succeeded by the new Tier 4 compliant SD70ACe T4, which has a 4-stroke 1010 series prime mover. The good news, however, is that production of the SD70ACe has continued by way of Tier 4 credit units, which basically means that by using previously accumulated emissions credits, EMD is allowed to still produce the Tier 3 locomotives even under the Tier 4 regulations. Isn't government red tape fun? Additionally, EMD has continued to produce the SD70ACe for railroads in other countries where the EPA regulations don't apply. Now, the paint scheme that you're seeing here on this model is based on a real-life locomotive. Kansas City Southern number 4006 is now a 14-year-old SD70ACe, and last year in 2018, it received this paint scheme that honors America's veterans in time for Veterans Day 2018. So MTH was very quick, of course, to pull the trigger on making an O-scale version of KCS 4006, and so this engine appeared in MTH's 2019 Volume 2 catalog, and then these engines started showing up in stores in June of 2019. Now, along with the engine on the same pages of the catalog, MTH also offered some matching rolling stock. They've got several boxcars and even a caboose, so if you want to, you can make a small train out of this theme. Now, stats-wise, the engine is right at 17.5 inches. It's just under 19 inches coupler to coupler. The weight of the engine is 6 pounds 11 ounces. This engine has 2 pounds 8 ounces of pulling power, which is pretty good. And the minimum required curve needed to operate this engine is 0.36. On the inside, this engine is powered by 2 vertically mounted flywheel motors, one per truck. This engine features all LED lighting. There is a fan-driven smoke unit for the smokestack, and then you've got the electronics for MTH's Proto-Sound 3 with the digital command system, and you've also got DCC on board as well. When it comes time to run this engine, the preferred method, of course, is to use MTH's Digital Command System, or DCS, as that will give you access to all of the engine's advanced features. However, you can also run this engine conventionally with just a transformer and some track, and you've also got DCC as an option, although typically with a 3-rail model, DCC doesn't come into play. However, this engine is Proto-Scale 3.2 compatible, so that means that if you buy the proper conversion kit, this can be converted for 2-rail operation, and then in that case, it's nice to have DCC on board. As we go in for a closer look, here we have the die-cast pilot, and it's got a separately applied metal coupler cut bar. There's some MU hoses back there, and then we've got this plow attachment. And one thing I like about MTH engines is that the plow is always a separate piece that comes packed with the engine when you buy it, and so you can attach it if you want it, or you can leave it off if that's your preference. And then in the middle, we've got the electrocoupler that you can throw from the MTH DCS remote. Moving up, we've got these metal handrails and a metal safety chain. We've also got some operating ditch lights, and I don't know if you can see it, but all of the decks on this engine have safety tread on them. And then we've got this beautiful looking cab with all these stars all over it. And one thing that I like about MTH engines, again, is that a lot of them still have the opening door on the cab, which is always nice. And it does have a little lock thing. It's a little piece of metal, and if you turn it, it'll actually lock the door, which is kind of cool. Up on the hood of the cab, we've got lots of separately applied metal grab irons and some sand fill caps. We've got add-on windshield wipers on the windows, and all the windows do have clear plastic inserts. We've got windscreens on each side of the cab. And then on the inside of the cab, there are two hand-painted crew figures. The light on the inside of the cab does light up when the engine is stopped, and it turns off when the engine starts moving. And up on the top of the cab here, we've got an operating headlight as well as lighted number boards on either side. Below the cab, you can see one of the 4 very nicely detailed die-cast metal truck side frames. And then between the trucks, we've got the die-cast metal fuel tank area, and it does have a little bit of hand-painted detailing as well. As we continue down the side of the engine, you can see the continuation of this American flag motif with this beautiful red and white striping. And this is as good a time as any to tell you that the paint job on this engine is absolutely flawless, which is what I've come to expect from MTH. We've got lots of legible signage all over the place, and then we've got these really cool see-through vents here. And then toward the back, we've got kind of this green camouflage paint scheme going on and a yellow Support Our Troops ribbon, and there's one on the other side as well. And then we've got lots of see-through venting, which you can actually see through right now, and also an add-on brake wheel. Here's a look at the back of the engine. Here you can see the MU hoses a little better because I don't have the pilot attachment on back here. We've got some nice hand-painted detailing up here. Again, metal handrails with a metal safety chain. Lots of nice add-on details going on back here. And then right here, we've got an operating backup light. Looking down on the engine, right here we've got the smokestack, and there is a fan-driven smoke unit down in there. And as always, to load smoke fluid into the smoke unit, you simply pour the smoke fluid directly down the stack. And unlike most other manufacturers these days, MTH actually still provides you with a small sample bottle of smoke fluid with the engine when you buy it. That's really nice. Behind that, we've got a nice add-on horn piece. And then back here, we've got all these nice fans. And on the inside of each fan, there is a free spinning fan blade. On the back, this piece here can be removed to reveal some controls for the engine. Let me go ahead and zoom in to give you a better view. Here we go. So right here, we've got a switch that toggles between 3-rail and 2-rail operation. Remember that I said that this engine can be converted for 2-rail operation. Well, if you make that conversion with a conversion kit, you would then switch this over to 2-rail operation. Along with that switch, we've got another switch over here that toggles between DCS and DCC operation. So if you were to convert this to a 2-rail model to run on DCC, obviously you would switch this over to DCC. And then in the middle, we've got 2 adjustments. This one will adjust the smoke output, and then above that is the volume adjustment. Here's a look at the underside of the SD70. All wheels on this model are driven, although the middle wheels on each truck do not have flanges. There are 4 pickup rollers, 2 per truck, which is good. We've got 4 traction tires, 2 on the inner axle of each truck. And then right here in the middle is the speaker for the sound system. All right, the last thing we're going to do before we start this thing up is BF IMO. Best feature in my opinion. Well, best feature here is a no-brainer. The paint scheme is just fantastic on this model, and so it's an easy pick for BF IMO. All right, let's go ahead and start this baby up. First up, let's check out the horn. Now, if you press the whistle horn button, the white button on the DCS remote, that'll blow the horn. if you lay down on the button for a while, it'll do a chirp at the end, like this. Like that. Also, we've got the quilling horn right here. So if you press that soft key, now you get a nice 3-chime horn. 1, 2, 3. Pretty cool. And now let's check out the bell. Now, if this was a Lionel engine, I'd be doing the Crew Talk sounds right now, but I'm going to save the Crew Talk sounds until we do the PFA sequence in a few minutes. All right, let's go ahead and move it out.
soon.
All right, that about wraps it up for this review. As you've seen, this is a gorgeous engine that runs great and sounds great. In other words, it's typical MTH. Now, if you'd like to purchase one of these, the retail price is right at $520. Although if you go through a good MTH dealer, you can probably get a little bit of a discount off that retail price. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, if you'd like some Eric's Trains merchandise, my online store is now up and running at store.ericstrains.com. And if you'd like to support Eric's Trains, you can do so through Patreon at www.patreon.com/ericstrains. The next model that I'll be reviewing will be the mighty and beautiful C&O M1 from MTH that you see here. That'll be coming in the near future, so keep an eye out for it. Anyway, that's about it for now. I'm Eric Siegel, and I'll see you next time.